This is the Curragh, home of the Irish Derby, and the place where trainer Peter Casey is putting some of the finishing touches to this big boy, Flemenstar, who's out for the Irish Hennessy at Leopardstown on February 9.
At the final fence, and Flemenstar pings it clear of Gift of the Gab. A fine performance here for Peter Casey's charge.
I can't believe I'll have next tonight and everything, and I'm going away for a week.
Flemenstar stood off a mile and got clear. Flemenstar on the run up towards the finish. A brilliant novice, and Flemenstar in the colours of Stephen Curran will win for Paul Casey. Sunday Shump second, Ruby Light third. It's going to be another big race success for Flemenstar, Peter Casey and Stephen Curran's charge.
Flemenstar is prepared for his workout mid-morning. He's not a cuddly pet of a horse. There's a certain arrogance about him. It's as if he's saying, "Don't mess with me." He's boxed up and driven to the Curragh, where owner Stephen Curran and jockey Andrew Lynch are waiting. A routine piece of work takes place. Casey is happy. Stephen Curran, the owner, just having a look at his star. Stephen, you must be very proud of your boy.
Yeah, we're happy with him, yeah, sure. Look, it's good to have him.
What kind of kick do you get out of watching him race?
I've been nervous. Once he gets over the first fence, I'm happy.
Are you an owner who's sort of grown up, you know, with the times of Arkle perhaps and dreaming of Gold Cups or
No.
Not at all?
No. Chillingham to me is just me to me, really, no. I was never there.
How did you feel this morning then, Andrew?
Yeah, he went well. We went to good gallop from the word go. He had a good blow, like, and that was the idea, that was just what we wanted, just get a blow into him. He was in great form, so probably get another bit next week, and hopefully it's all systems go for the Hennessy.
I believe there's going to be a big meeting between the owner, you and Peter Casey about tactics for that race, but presumably you drop him out, would you, or would you go on and just see if he properly does get the trip? How do you approach that race?
Sure, we'll have to talk to the owner and the trainer and see what they think. I've my views about it, so we'll see near the time and see what's the best thing for the horse.
I mean, you ride a very good 2-miler, of course, in Sizing Europe. I mean, it's difficult for you to say adamantly, but do you feel this horse is more a 3-miler or a 2-miler? In your heart of hearts, Andrew, you must have an opinion.
We've only a length to find, and if it was a length closer in the Lexus, everyone would be saying he's a Gold Cup horse, so we've only a length to find, and I think the horse would have learnt an awful lot from the Lexus. It was the first real competitive race he ran in amongst horses over a trip. So I think a length, it's not a whole lot to find.
We'll know after Hennessy Day and what we'll do with him, right?
Do you have a gut feeling?
The gut feeling, I think we'll be going to Charlie with him, yeah. I say we will, yeah.
Over what distance?
I'd say it'll be the Gold Cup. Andrew thinks he'll get the distance. About the ground, he's a better horse. We'll wait till after Hennessy and we'll decide what to do with him then. And it won't be the end of the world if we don't go to Chillingham. That's the way I look at it now. No, that's the way I look at it now. Don't be the world because there's plenty of races for him, like. But if it's the beat, it'll be.
He's quite a character at home in that he's not what you would call a friendly horse. He's not a horse who wants to be patted and cuddled. But when you ride a horse like that, I mean, is there anything about him that's different to other horses?
He just does everything real easy. He does jumps, travels, like everything is just too easy for him, which makes you can go a savage gallop on him and he'd lob away, where other horses, like if you went that gallop, they'd struggle from the word go. It's a difference between riding a good horse and a bad horse.
Of course, the big question that the Hennessy will hopefully decide is whether Flemenstar is a champion chase, Ryanair, or Gold Cup contender at next month's Cheltenham Festival. Or, equally, none of the three. There's no doubt Flemenstar is the best Casey has trained. But how did he come to handle the horse?
We trained for Stephen Curran before. 2 or 3 horses we had for him.
Stevens is the owner of the horse.
Yeah, the owner. And he decided then he'd come here. I don't know whether he was going to come or not, but he decided he would come here because he had fairly good success with us now. Everything he had with us, nearly all won, I'd say. So Flemenstar came here, but he was nearly ready to run. And we ran him in a bumper down on Peter Road, and he was second or something. He was better anyway, but he probably shouldn't have been better. From that, then he ran in a hole, and I think he won his hole then after that.
Yeah.
And then he went to Fairy House. And in a grade 2 hole, he was 40, blew up, and Andrew McNamara got off him and says, them horses will never beat him again, because he says he blew up, see. Then he came the following year, and he ran him in that novice chase. He should never have been better. Bob Warrior bet him. He never bet him again. So that was the only time he ever was beaten in that year. So we won all his next races. So there was heaps of people after him to buy him, and even English trainers came here to look at him. I don't know whether they liked him. They was all very pleased with him anyway. But there's a lot to buy him. But Potts and McManus was the last 2. But Potts, I think, had to have him bought. And then it didn't work out because he wanted to take him out of here after a while, and Stephen didn't have that, so the deal fell through. But McManus was the last man then, and he wanted to buy him, but he didn't sell it to him, and he was going to leave him here. And even from that day to this now, whenever it was last year, he's a kind of still after him, I think. And he would buy him if he says, I'll sell him to you.
Flemenstar on his seasonal reappearance. A couple of lengths clear now as they come to the final fence. It's Flemenstar over the last and clear of Big Zeb and Foil Dove, and on the run uphill towards the finish. It's Flemenstar for Stephen Curran and meat trainer Peter Casey going to continue his winning ways after a great season last year. Flemenstar couldn't have a nicer introduction.
If you were asked to describe him as a horse, how would you describe him?
A lovely grand big chaser. That's what I always thought of him. He was a grand chaser.
Ground conditions. He's won on everything from good to heavy. Everyone in England seems to think, he needs heavy ground to perform to his best. What would you say to them?
No, that's wrong. No. He go on the heavy ground. Because he won the Ackle and Leopardstown last year, it was heavy ground. Bottomless, I think. And he won then on soft ground, and he won on good ground, I think it was in Fairy House last year, at the end of the season.
Yeah? When he beat Rathlin?
Yeah, that was good ground.
So ground, you don't think
makes no difference to him.
So he goes on anything. Yeah. The big question, of course, is the distance with Flemenstar.
That's right.
Flemenstar leads to the final fence in the Lexus from First Lieutenant in second. In third is Sir Deschamps and 4 Tidal Bay. They got 200 yards to go. It's Flemenstar. First Lieutenant now on the near side comes to challenge. Flemenstar is battling back. They're racing to the final 100 yards. First Lieutenant on the near side for Brian Cooper. On the far side, Flemenstar. Tidal Bay goes between them. So Deschamps on the near side, and Tidal Bay is running.
You tried to stretch him out in the Lexus. He didn't quite get home against Tidal Bay. Now you're going to try and stretch him out again in the Hennessy. What will you do different in the Hennessy to the Lexus? You must have a different plan.
I don't know. That's going to be up to the owner. As I said, the 3 of us is going to get together. 3 or 4 to get together and kind of work out a plan for him, what to do with him. But everyone has a different opinion, and everyone is entitled to their opinion. And I don't know. I do not know. I cannot tell you. I tell you the truth, I can't tell you. The way I'd like to see him, I suppose, if there's not many in this race, in the Hennessy, if there's maybe 5 or 6 in it, try and have him last and see what happens after 2 miles. I'd love to put him asleep out the back and see would he go asleep for a couple of miles. Then we're kind of waking him up.
There was a time when you were pretty confident this horse would stay. Has your opinion changed since that Lexus?
Well, it kind of did, I suppose. There was the way he's gone now. If it's 3 mile 2 furlongs up that hill in Cheltenham.
Because we have to remember it's another 2.5 furlongs on top of the Lexus trip.
That's right. That is right. I don't know then to go for the Queen Mother and say, right, let him go off in front. It'd be great. I'd love that.
Just say he stood on a little stone tomorrow morning and that ruled him out of the Hennessy. So his next race had to be at Cheltenham.
Yeah.
What would your gut tell you there?
I go for the Queen Mother. Yeah. I'd have him on great form and I'd go for the Queen Mother.
And you've been around good horses, but nothing quite like Flemenstar. But you've seen good horses. I mean, you've seen Arkle, Peter.
Yeah. right.
You've seen the best. Is this horse, do you think, over his right distance, whatever that may be, is as good as there's been for quite some time in Ireland?
I really do think that. I really do think so. I think he's a right one. We made an easier out of him above in the Lexus. That was all our fault. But you have to try something, haven't you? You have to start somewhere.
Oh no, you have to.
He's a horse now that should be undefeated. Maybe we shouldn't. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't have went for the Lexus at all. We should have went for the day before the Queen. There was a 2 mile one above in Leopardstown that size in Europe one. I think he'd have won that easy. And you know what I mean? Maybe he should be any better one, so he mightn't. He should never have been beaten. You know what I mean? He's a great one, I think.
But he's exciting, isn't he? I mean, there's something about him.
I'll never see another one anyway like him.
You must get out of bed every morning looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, and they'd be thinking about him too much in bed. So I do. I'd be thinking about him every time he goes to the CURRAN, comes back. Is he all right? Is everything all right? All this, you know.